Welcome back to Chaotic Exposure. This is episode 9. We got Whiskey and Dragon and Neil. It's going to be a
Yeah,
good episode
yeah.
today. What's going on, guys?
What's happening? What's up? Anybody else listen to 90s rap? Early 2000s? It's fine.
No? Is that what
We're
you're
the same
doing?
age. I didn't know. I was quoting a song. It's fine. Good morning. Good
Okay.
afternoon. Whatever it is. It's good to see you
Totally
guys.
fine.
Hey, we have
Let's
to
do
do
our
something.
shot.
Woo!
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Ready? One, two, go. Neil's twitching.
Whoa.
That was more than a shot. I didn't really
Ooh,
pour or measure.
looks painful for you.
Oh,
Oh, that was
I
a
did the
burn.
first good one, and then there was still half more. I'm gonna
Yeah.
need a minute.
It tastes
I
good
felt
when
that
you
one
wash it down with kombucha. Yeah, it's pretty good.
So what's been going on?
Not much. World Cup.
Oh, that was insane. I think Dragon has to have opinions on that one.
It was amazing. I think it was like the best World Cup ever. So it was Argentina against France, and first half Argentina scores 2 goals. I think the first one was a penalty, wasn't it? Yeah. Second half, France ties it. I think they scored like the last 10 minutes. They scored the 2 goals to tie it 2-2, and then so they go overtime. Argentina scores, so it's 3-2, and then France scores, ties it, and they go to penalties, and that's when Argentina just won. Goalie blocked. I think it was 2 goals, and France completely missed the goal on one. It was nice. A lot of screaming. It was very fun.
From you?
Yeah, I lost
Yeah,
my voice.
I can confirm. Can confirm.
I lost my voice for it like a little bit. It was pretty funny.
So, listen, I'm not trying to say anything negative about Messi. He's obviously an incredible player and deserves all the respect on his name. And some of the videos I've been seeing today out of Argentina, like they were chanting his name in front of his grandma's house, him dancing on a
Yeah,
table. It's wonderful. I'm so happy for him. Like it's amazing. But I'm sorry, but throughout this tournament, there has been multiple times that I have seen refs not call him. Other players and other teams fall down yards away from him just to get out of his way. It just feels like a little bit like I don't know. And I think I've said this to some people and I've gotten crickets back. And maybe it's just all to me. I don't know, but like it just feels a little cheap to me. Let's like I think everyone just determined nope, Messi, he wins. It is what it is. And then that's what we saw happen. I love seeing France fight for it though. It was a fun game to watch for sure. I don't like seeing things like people falling down for no reason. And
yeah.
maybe they didn't. I don't know. It's just how it
But
seemed.
like that first half, the way Argentina played, oh my god, it was beautiful.
Great.
Like
Yeah,
that,
and again, I'm not. Yeah,
that one goal that Messi like passed, like with the outside of his foot, like it was beautiful.
and yes, it is. And it, again, I'm not coming at Messi in any way because he's amazing. It just
I
seemed
got
like
mixed
a few
emotions with him
times.
this World
Yeah,
Cup.
yeah, exactly. Anyways, not try- this isn't meant to be fight or hate. Just
You're buddy Messi.
not fudding Messi. Nor could I.
You're gonna get the Messi army after you now.
I don't know. They're rabid, bro. Like I was in a Discord vetting a project, and I just happened to mention how I felt. It did not go down well. They were not. They weren't having it. they, they were like, "Listen, dude, you're wrong." I was like, "Oh, okay. Sorry,
He just said sorry.
sorry."
I don't think a lot of people know who Messi is, but Messi is like the world's best soccer player.
That feels important.
Yeah, just
I wanted to talk about something, but I mean, it's Christmas. Let's talk about that. It's Christmas this weekend, and here we are recording a podcast.
yeah.
Whiskey's like, "Is it?" Any
Any
big plans?
plans? No. I have to work.
Get that money.
Yeah. My job
Uh,
is
holiday
24/7
money?
no matter what. Yeah. Well, it's not horrible because when is Christmas Sunday? Yeah. So I get off at 7 in the morning. So it's not that bad. So when I get off work, we'll open presents.
Got anything
Nice.
special for the girls, Dragon?
No, not really.
We haven't talked too much about that. We don't have to, but we have kids. Most of us, all of us, I think, but we don't have to go there. I'm just saying.
I
What
have
about you,
two
Whiskey?
that I know of.
So
Dragon's
most
gonna
of
get a
my
call.
family is still in South Carolina. And my parents are going to Florida for the Dolphins game that's happening on Christmas Day.
Oh,
So they're having more fun than I am.
that's neat. Good for them. It's the kind of
Yeah.
crap I want to do when I'm old. Like,
Well,
I
they're
don't
not
live near
old.
family. Oh,
Hopefully
They're
they don't
not-
listen to this podcast. If you're on their
they're
show.
not. They're not children though, right? They have adult children. So when I say old, I mean
Well.
it.
Adult, you can use it for me, but yeah, I get it.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like, I don't live near family. I grew up all over the country, right? Like, I never lived anywhere longer than a lot of states on every coast, and I've kind of settled as an adult in Minnesota, which feels wrong and just cruel. But here I am. But I'm like 24 hours from my family and 12 hours from, and I almost refuse to go to their house for Christmas because how peaceful it is just to be at home, chilling. You know, you can day drink, you can, there's nothing to do, and it's fantastic. And so, and when I'm older, I mean, I love my children, and I definitely want to like be nice to them. But I hope that I'm the kind of guy that goes to Florida for a Christmas game instead of something boring on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents.
So what
But
about you?
happy Christmas, because that's how
Happy
awesome
Christmas.
people say it. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna start saying
Uh,
that instead of egg.
I have a drawer full of biscuits. I have
Of course.
Oh yeah,
liquor
how's
on
that?
standby. It's fine.
Is it restocked?
Not stingy, bro. We've only gone through like 2 sleeves all winter, so
Oh, that's horrible.
my family hates it because they know they're there, but they also know that they're of touching it. Little I have sacred in my life, except for that biscuit drawer. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be chilling. I'm gonna be watching, Christmas Story on Christmas Day. I'm gonna watch the sequel on HBO later in the day. Gonna give my kids a bunch of junk that they will throw away, and it's gonna be awesome.
Are you gonna
So
watch
I've never seen Christmas Story. Or not a Christmas Story. What's the one? No. Don't not that one. I've seen that one. What's the one that you said?
Sequel.
No. The one that I haven't seen. Miracle
Haven't-
on what is it?
That one's dumb anyway.
Okay. Yeah, never mind.
I haven't seen any of those. The only Christmas movie I've seen is Die Hard.
Some people debate if that's an actual Christmas.
That's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. So, okay. We interviewed Goodfoot last week. Fun episode. I don't care. I'm going to be dramatic because that's who I am. I'm sorry for how much I interrupted. Did do it. I am
He just
sorry.
went right there, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't care. It was a little much, and I'm going to work on it. So if I drive you crazy, listeners, I apologize. I love you, and I love my co-hosts, and I will shut my damn mouth more often. But he said something in his interview that I think really resonated with me, and I want to talk about it for a minute. As a community member of a project that you love, you have the ability to make a real impact. And he wasn't suggesting that everybody should do this, but if you're in a project and you love it and you want to see it succeed, put in some fucking effort. That's what he said. And amen.
Yeah.
Like that. So I'm in the Web3 space. All three of us are. That's why we have this podcast. And for a long time, I was just one of those guys that sat in Twitter spaces and listened and didn't really get involved. Just kind of like looked for the opportunity to put some money in somewhere, But the moment I started getting involved with a project, regardless of outcome, is the moment I started making friends and making impact and building and doing fun things and I'm no one. I'm literally nobody. and if I can get involved and get find a little corner in the world, then anyone can. So I just wanted to echo that. I don't know how you guys feel about it. What was your take on it?
A dragon's distracted, so I'll go. I heard him loud and clear, and I appreciate that because I'm just gonna say it. You only get out of things what you put into it. It is no one's fault except yours if you do not put in effort into a relationship, into a project, or into your work. It is no one's fault that your IRL happens, just like it is not my fault that IRL happens. That comes first. I agree. That should always come first. You have to prioritize. However, if you are unable to be as active as you would like in a community, that falls on no one but you. When you come into a community and you put in the effort and you put in the time, and even if you're like dying to be a part, like that's great. But there's going to be times that it's like, it's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up with a community that's constantly moving, new people coming in, stuff going on. Like that happens with a community that's this active, at least for Misfits. I'm just talking about Misfits right now. Like I said, in any relationship, in any type of thing that you've got going on, whatever you put in, I mean, it's only as good as what you put into it. If you are putting in the effort to do things, and given, like I said, IRL happens, I get that, but the community does not wait for no one. We keep moving and we keep growing and changing, and like Goodfoot said, put in, what did he say? He
He
said
said
it
just
really
put in the
good.
fucking effort, and it wasn't even
Yeah.
like because in one way, like you're absolutely right. Like if you feel like you're disconnected from a community, get connected to the community, but also go talk about it. Like you like as a member of the Misfits, as a community member, not on the team. By the way, I don't know. Can I congratulate Dragon on? Is that allowed? I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, but he left.
Well, I don't care. He'll listen. Congratulations, Dragon, on making moderator in the Misfit community. You earned that, buddy. But like as a community member with no like role or title, like I can go and make a holder. I can
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about the thing I love and bring in people. And in this space, especially right now, it's a terrible time for NFTs and cryptocurrency. There's bad news all the time. Liquidity's leaving the world. It'll come back. It always does, but it's a rough moment. It takes me to make someone come into the space and be involved. It's up to me. It's not up to a founder. It's not. It is. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I'm just talking as a community member, though. At the end of the day,
Right.
if I want to see it succeed, it's up to me.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in. And I loved that. And again, like
Yeah.
my project hasn't even launched yet. This is just my opinion. I have no community that I community manage, and so I eventually will. That'll be awesome. But it's just like, yeah, it just resonated. Dragon, what did you think? You're on mute.
My bad. Sorry, I was distracted.
Do you need us to repeat the question?
Yeah. What was the question?
Boy,
Neil's face is like, are you kidding?
we were just talking about what was saying about being a part of community and how much I really just resonated. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not.
I think I will say this, like, but
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like, you don't have to like you don't have to put an effort. That's fine. To Whiskey's point and to my point, you don't have anything to say then. Like, I don't want your opinion. I don't want your input. Like, be with me or don't. And and you can be a holder, and we'll be happy. I'll be happy to have you in our community. I'd be happy to have you in our voice chats, in our Twitter spaces, whatever. Let's hang out. But like, if you don't want to put in effort, if you don't want to help the effort up that a community member should do, in my opinion, as a
Mm-hmm.
community member, then that's fine. But
Or you're unable to. I mean, if you're unable to do that, that stuff happens. And I think we're on the same page. It's like that stuff happens, but the train doesn't stop. Like the community's not stopping, project's not stopping. We're continuing to go. So you almost have to try to keep up as best you can. and
Mhm.
like understand that the people who are involved the most are going to be the closest. They're going to be the tightest, like good, strong relationships inside and outside the community. I mean, if you think about us, the three of us talk every day. We spend time together all the time. Given we have this podcast on the side, but like we're active all the time. So we're close. But it doesn't mean that someone who maybe comes into Discord like once a week isn't as equally valuable. It just means that you have different levels of engagement and connection. But I have
Mhm.
to say too, like from the other side of things, the amount of um, support and patience and understanding that's given to the team is amazing. I mean, we all know what it's like for projects to try to build in a bear market and try to get as much done with limited funds and limited time. And the amount of grace that has been shown, at least for the Misfits, over the last like month, I know that the guys appreciate it. I see it and I feel it, and it's just been amazing to see that everyone wants, in any situation, you don't always have patience. You want something right now, and I get that. But the amount of like grace that everyone has been showing has been amazing. So I just needed to like get that out.
Yeah. Well, like me, so the way I got into crypto was Dogecoin, and then I got into SafeMoon, and like safe with the SafeMoon community, it was huge, but I was never like really involved in it. I listened to the spaces, but
Mm-hmm.
I still just I hang I still kind of felt part of it, but even though I wasn't like a speaker or anything, I didn't tweet that much about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Um. So I know we don't have like a ton of time until our guests come on. Um. But I was kind of thinking about, oh shoot, what was it? Oh, so our Discord channel, Truth or Dare, has been getting like a ton of exercises. Like there's a lot of truth coming out in that channel. Um,
Way too much. Way too
Yeah.
much.
okay, but there was one that came up there because I like going through in the mornings and reading some of people's truths, and some of them are disturbing. I don't recommend anyone go in there and like scroll up. But one of them was, "Are there words you can't stand?" And Dragon said no, but I have like a shitload of words I can't stand. You genuinely don't have any words you can't stand? Like nothing?
Uh, no, I don't think so. No. I know for you, like you don't like facts.
Facts drives me crazy when somebody's
Yeah.
like
Calm
facts.
But
down.
Calm
yeah, I
down.
don't have any word that bothers me.
Okay, so stimulate, penetrate. When I watch football and they're like, he penetrated the end zone, I feel like Fat Amy from Pitch Perfect when she's like, not enough reason to use the word penetrate. I just can't handle those. And then there's like your words that are like disturbingly gross, like seep and pus.
Yeah.
Like
No, I'm good.
I want to slap somebody for saying those words. There's other words you could use. What
For
about you, Neil?
me,
Do you have words?
yeah, I do. Um, I'm trying to think of a list. So I'm from the South. Even though I grew up all over the country, my whole family lives in South Mississippi, the Gulf Coast. Shout out to um, Metaverse Josh. He's down there as well as Legion is down there. So some good people from Mississippi. But there's this language that gets used like on a Sunday morning in church, that's very, very Southern. And it's just, there's a lot of bless your hearts, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
just like passive aggressive nonsense. And those words drive me nuts. I can't think of all the examples, but you know it when you hear it, especially if you're from
Yeah.
down there. Um, and then, I don't enjoy mayonnaise at all. It
You
just
don't
gives me
enjoy the word mayonnaise? Like you
it,
don't
it
like
the
mayonnaise with
whole
the word alone?
it makes me queasy, if I'm being honest.
That's kind of weird. Why?
It's just an aversion, man. It's psychological. I'm not here to say it's rational. I just, you guys have been sharing those nasty gifs. Um, but I'm not a fan of like the common ones too, like moist. I don't want to talk about things moist.
Oh yeah, moist is gross. Even when you're talking about cake, like you can say something besides moist to describe a cake.
There's no reason to use it, and I only
Mm-mm.
think of gross things when you're
Yeah,
turning me off.
right.
But yeah,
Yeah. So have you ever like when you're annoyed at something and you like go to leave the room really fast and your belt loop gets stuck on the door and you get even more pissed off because you like got stuck by Have you ever had that happen? Oh, it makes me so mad. Like you
can
leave
you
the
tell us
room.
when that happened to you last?
Literally yesterday I was so pissed off about something. And I like go to leave the room because I was over it. I got caught on the doorknob with my belt loop, and that made me even more mad. Worse.
Did you fall down?
No, I got more pissed off and stormed away.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that's amazing. You know, I don't know that my belt loop gets caught, but I also wear like baggier shirts because I like.
Yeah.
But I definitely do like hit things and hurt myself when I'm mad, and that's never fun. That just makes me more angry. And I think you mentioned this in the Misfits Discord today. Even when I get mad and I get angry, like I get silent. I actually
Hmm.
I snapped a couple months ago, and I disappeared on Discord. I was gone 3 days. I barely ate, and I didn't say a word
It
to a
was so
soul.
peaceful.
Oh my god! And so when I get that anger, like I go silent.
Yeah.
And
If my feelings are hurt, though, I go, like, if I feel overwhelmed and, like, my feelings are hurt or I'm, like, done, if I've reached my limit, I'll go silent. And not for the attention. It's just like you're drained. You're done. You got nothing else. So you just
that's a
shrivel up
better
and die.
excuse than what I have. I'm just a mess of a person. I act
Oh, so
violent in
yours is for
silence.
attention? Okay.
No, it's just like I just like
I'm just kidding.
just break. My brain breaks and I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Either way, we have guests coming on. Should I dip out and go get them quick?
Let's go. We got
Go
the
get them.
Crypto Bros coming.
Where
Yeah,
do you have
buddy.
them in the basement?
Yeah, he's
There
got
you
him
go.
tied up for his freaky deaky activities. Awesome. So we got Josh, Caleb, and Greg with the Crypto Bros with us.
Woo!
What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
How's it going? Thanks for having us.
Welcome,
Thank you for
welcome.
coming.
We're usually on
So
the other
excited.
side of the interview, so this should be interesting.
Crazy.
Whiskey knows she was there.
Yeah.
We made her drink bad
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, we're not as mean as you. We actually we're gonna have you do shots with
Aw.
us, but it's good stuff. Sorry, Greg, no grass soda today.
Can I just say,
Yummy.
like, that moment is that I fell in love with. Continued to drink that grass soda. It's beautiful, man. It was just the best. Like, yeah, you're a misfit.
This reminded me of a nice spring day with my headphones on the mower.
No, it does not
My
taste.
own mind, you know.
It did not taste like a nice spring.
No.
Good to me.
I don't know how you mow your grass.
More like when you clean the bottom of your mower. It was more like that.
Do you eat that?
No, no.
Okay.
I
Maybe.
was gonna say, like, keep your mouth open while you're doing
Greg doesn't use
That
it.
happens,
He
that happens.
just eats the grass.
it.
Yeah.
Ew.
So
No, but-
we typically do a shot when we start our episodes, which you guys know, and it looks like from what I can see that you have shots of your own. Are you guys ready to
let's
do
go.
some shots?
We are
Ooh,
ready.
ready.
Let's do it.
All right, let's
It's the
go.
only reason we
One,
agreed to come on.
a drink. I love it.
Day drinking.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, go.
Woo.
I love it.
You guys
Me
are
too.
trying to get me drunk.
Poor dragon.
I actually have a mug that has Fireball in it too, so I don't have to keep opening up little bottles.
We can't tell how much
nice.
you've been drinking. I like that trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I won't tell you how many shots are in this mug, but it's enough. Let's just
It's
put it that
all
way.
fireball.
Yeah, it's enough.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for coming on. Thrilled to have you. All three of us are fans of your podcast. A big reason I am, because I didn't really hear a ton about you guys. I was with a Safe Moon partner for a while. That's no and I was busy working with them pretty hard, and it wasn't paying attention as closely to everything that was going on. But then when you had Whiskey on your podcast, I kind of like felt like I discovered you. And then well, it was actually when you got Holly on board, because I remember I've been in the Safe Moon Armies early April last, so I've known Holly quite a while in the space. And so when you brought her on, I was like, oh, what's this? But then when you brought on our girl Whiskey here, community manager for the Misfits, I was like, I was hooked. So it's just as fun to have you guys come on. We're a little newer to the game here, but man, just thrilled to have you.
Yeah, but you guys are awesome. You might be new, but you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Like I love your podcast. So
Thank you.
you for having us on.
You guys are like first celebrities, YouTube celebrities.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh.
We're still pretty new too.
Yeah, your guys' level of celebrity must be very low.
Well, it's funny you say that, Dragon, because I don't know if Whiskey you remember this, but when they first came into the Misfits, what did I message you? Do you remember that?
Oh,
I don't think you understood.
I forgot what it was, but we were excited. We were like, "Oh my god, we're going places!"
Yeah, they
I'm
don't,
scared-
they
I'm
don't
scared to be
handle
in the-
stuff very well. They
I
were,
was like, I'm scared to be in the
like
chat.
this- Yeah, it was like shock.
And then I screwed up the counting game.
Oh,
Caleb was on a
yeah, I
roll this
forgot
week.
about that.
He
Yeah,
was.
so-
I felt so bad for him.
Oh.
Oh man.
I didn't. I was
Like,
like,
son
"You
of
did
a-"
what, Caleb? What the hell? It's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Man, we were far. Where were we? Like
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, 1204.
Yeah,
12.
Caleb remembers.
You'll never forget
I
that
put,
Okay.
I put 1200. That's the wrong number.
Caleb, they will never understand. Like, and hopefully they do someday, but they will never understand. It's like there's this panic. Holly literally deleted her answer and typed in the right one, trying to get it to cover it up. Like, it's just such a horrible feeling that I've had
She went-
multiple times. So,
Holly went into coding mode and she was typing in commands. I was like, Holly, that's not going to work. Oh, it's funny.
That's awesome. Going into the first question we have for you, and just to kind of get some context to how you guys kind of came around before the chaos really starts. What got you all in crypto, and what was the motivation to making content in the space? What was that journey like?
First part of the answer is Greg.
Greg.
He kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me to buy crypto, and I kept telling him get lost. And then finally, I was like, okay, whatever. I'll put some money in it, and I don't know. The timing couldn't have been better because it skyrocketed. I mean, like big time. And I was like, well, hell, this is easy, And that's kind of how it all started for us. Was Greg had been in it for longer than we have. But how long have you been in crypto?
Well, I mean,
Besides your
started-
Bitcoin fiasco.
Well, I was gonna say about 10 years ago. I mean, that's when I really started thinking about it.
Yeah.
The Bitcoin. I was starting.
He
to
should
spend
be
it.
rich right now, but he's not.
No, I'll go into that.
Yeah. We make fun of him about it all the time, though. But no, he kept pushing Doge on us, and we finally got in at like, I don't know, we probably bought in around 2 cents.
Yeah.
Is when it was. And
Oh,
of course,
nice.
it got all the way up to almost 70, or maybe it did hit 70. I didn't sell at
Yeah.
70 because I'm an idiot, but
Hold that, doggy.
yeah. And so then that kind of went into like ETC and ETH and all those sort of things that Robinhood would sell. And then we started playing the ups and downs and the candles and quit our jobs and did it full time. And
Wow.
that worked
Oh.
out.
Yeah, we all
Pretty
work at
good.
the Same
I mean-
place too.
Yeah, we all worked at the same place, so that didn't go over very well. Yeah, I
That
don't
was
know if they're
glorious.
gonna hear this, so yeah, they're still upset about that.
Yeah.
So
And they're our neighbors.
yeah, and they're our neighbors.
You don't have to go into details if you don't want to, but could you?
Oh
can
no,
you go
man,
into
I'll
details?
spill the beans. What'd
Where did
say?
you work?
We were all worked for a plumbing shop in Kansas City.
You all
We
quit
all-
to trade full time.
Yep, and no one understood it. My wife said, "Yeah, do whatever you want," and I was like, "Okay." And I went in, I turned in my notice, and then everybody was pissed
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It was bad.
it was
gosh.
pretty cool.
because it was a shop that had what, like 15 guys.
Yeah.
So we took a fifth of the guys and we walked out. They're still mad.
Oh my god.
We love them though, right?
What?
We still love them.
Oh yeah, of course.
But you live next to him?
They do.
Yeah, we live.
On a dead
Caleb
end
and I
road.
live on Dead End Road, and there's 3 houses, and one's mine, one's Caleb's, and one's theirs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's not as friendly as it used to be
No.
on the Dead End Road. And that was what, year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Something like
2
that.
years or-
So we got into crypto to do that, and then so day trading worked. I mean, we made money when it was good, right? And then the bear market hits, and then we're like, well, now what the hell? Because there's some candles to trade, but it's pretty risky, you know. So we started helping people set up wallets, and we had a lot of people said, "What are you doing?" Because nobody around here understood what we were trying to accomplish.
Hmm.
And so we started helping people set up wallets because people didn't understand how to do it and get them on exchanges and buy. And we really tried not to tell them what to buy, but they always asked,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's like, okay, well, I've got this $1,000. I don't know what I want to do with it. What should I buy? And it's like, so what we did is we had a board in our office, which you can't see because it's gone now. And we just had like the top 5 projects that we were invested in. And then we'd just say, pick one of those.
Yeah.
And then they would. That way I wouldn't have to feel bad if it crashed. But but then we were doing the podcast the entire time and just having fun with it because we're here 5 days a week, 40 hours a week.
I think we just got bored. Like one day, we're like, let's do a podcast.
Yeah, we were. I mean, we're playing a lot of video games and stuff like that, which was awesome.
We were video gaming hard.
We were in
It's
the 5th season of Super Tecmo Bowl, and we're like, we gotta like
Ghosts and
accomplish
Goblins.
something. Yeah, playing some Ghosts and
Everything.
Goblins and whatever.
Counter-Strike.
Greg brought his emulator in, and we were going nuts and having a ball. And we had charts up on the TV, so we were
We were
working,
watching it.
but not really. So we decided, let's do a podcast. That'd be cool, right? So, yeah, I don't know if you've seen the very first podcast.
It's like retro. It's like 1980.
It was god
It's
awful.
like
It was
Top
really
Gun
bad.
coming
Yeah,
in, which I just watched the new one last night. It's really good.
a freaking time. But so we did it. I mean, we're literally sitting at 3 different computers on a Zoom call, and the quality is horrible. And I don't even remember what we talked about. We sounded like idiots. And
It's like 5
Just
minutes
perfect.
long.
each week, yeah, it was like 7 minutes, 10 minutes long. And each week it just kind of evolved. Then one week we're all in front of the same computer, which felt weird. I'm not gonna lie, it was weird. And then
That's what we do.
the sound though was horrible, right? Like we just couldn't get the sound down. So there's a small weird office. We're in an old bank, and there's like the
Next
manager's
to a
office.
big bank,
Yeah, next to the new
which
bank.
is ironic.
Yeah. And so we turned that into our studio and got the sound and everything working and started having more fun with it, Like the taste test just evolved because we were bored and we went to the local gas station and they had this thing called Nitro Pepsi. And we're like,
Yeah.
what the hell is that? And so I think Greg may have
Who
said,
knows?
let's get Nitro Pepsi and let's drink it on the podcast. And we're like, sure. And it was funny because it exploded, right?
All of
Like we opened it. I don't know. It's supposed to be hard poured. I don't really know
Yeah.
what the hell that means. But if you don't pour it all in a glass all at once, it goes everywhere. And it did. And people started commenting on it. And we were like,
So
we
just
got
redid
nothing
it.
better to do. So we just started doing taste tests from then on out.
Mhm.
So, and it's evolved from there. You talked about Holly. We had talked about having guests on for a long time, but we were basically like, who the hell wants to come on our podcast? Like who are we going to invite that's going to say yes? And we were really getting into Twitter at that time. And you guys know as well as we do, there's a lot of negativity on Twitter, right? Like people
Oh,
just
yeah.
tearing each other apart. And I think they fight just to fight sometimes. And
Yeah.
this one voice in Twitter just kept coming back. And it was always positive. And we always said, this person can't be real, right? Like, she can't really be
It's
this
a bot.
positive.
It's a bot, yeah.
So I just,
Happy bot.
yeah, I just told the guys one day, I was like, I'm going to reach out to her and see if she'll be our first guest, right? Because she's not tied to any project. She's not CEO, but she knows crypto. She's very positive. And so I reached out to her, and she responded within like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It said, absolutely, I would love to do it, and blah, blah, blah. And
She's
I'm
been thinking about doing being on a podcast too.
Yeah, I think she was
Just
thinking
right.
about starting her own podcast.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty
Wow.
sure she never heard of us before, because honestly, we had like 50 subs on YouTube. It wasn't very much. And she came on, and guys, she's real. She's intelligent. She's funny. She's as positive as advertised. And seriously, we probably talked for what, an hour beforehand
Yeah.
and
Wow.
2 hours afterwards.
Mhm.
And we didn't say anything in the beginning, but we all looked at each other and went, this girl needs to be part of the team. So we reached out to her, and she said, absolutely. She didn't even hesitate. And
That's
it's
awesome.
been like that ever since.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember back in last 2 Aprils ago, listening to her. I think it was like David Gogan and Crypto Bully, and they would like be
Yep.
trolling the size of their legs, and like just and I don't know. It was just a really fun, and that was back when I was kind of quiet in the background. I wasn't. Yeah, super awesome. She really compliments you guys.
yeah, she's awesome. And like you said, we've sat in the background for how many months? 4 months, something like that, as we did it, and just tried to learn people and spaces and figure out who was worth following and who wasn't. And as we evolved, then people started following us, and then we had to be a little bit more careful about what we said, and
Yeah.
because our sense of humor is a little bit off the wall. And we like to give each other a hard time, and some people think that we're mean to each other, but we're just family.
How was it meeting Holly for the first time
A lot of fun.
in real
It
life?
was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was pretty cool.
It's kind of a funny story though, because when she finally got here, the entryway to our old bank studio thing, one door works and one door doesn't. So guess which one she tried first? And so we're inside, and we don't know she's even here because everything's blacked out in here to get just the glare and things tamed down. And I hear this rattling, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And so I cracked the door open, and there she is trying to get out the wrong door. But it was just like, I don't know, a long lost friend that you hadn't seen in a while, and we hung out, slapped each other with some tortillas.
That was awesome. I love
I got to spit in Greg's
I love
face.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
that
that.
I love
Uh,
watching Holly slap Caleb. That was
Yeah.
one of the
That's
more
so much fun.
satisfying.
Oh, that is the best.
The sound really picked up on the broadcast of that, but in person, it was like she hit him with a sledgehammer. I mean, she did not hold back.
She actually punched me.
Yeah, she actually hit Greg in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
the
was a
little
real
known
hit.
fact is because he doesn't really say it, but when she swung on Greg, she actually hit him with her finger and slapped him in the face. So,
That's a hell of a tortilla.
yeah, you deserve it. I'm pretty sure. But no, it was a blast. We hung out all day long, and that day went by fast. And then I coach high school basketball, so I had to go to practice. And then we all met back up in Kansas City for dinner and hung out in a casino and got to know each other even more. And I mean, we met her at like 9 o'clock that morning, and we went our separate ways at like 11 o'clock that night. And that seemed like it was 2 hours long. I mean, it was a
I'm not gonna
long
lie to
day,
you,
but
like-
it's good.
The thought of Dragon Whiskey and me getting together to hang out for a night, I don't know if we'd make it home alive. Like,
I feel like this was a movie.
Yeah.
I know, totally. Yeah, but that's
Somebody
Yeah, I
awesome.
think
wakes up
it-
with a face
I think it
tattoo.
will, because I told them that I will get drunk for the first time with them, because I've never been drunk. So
We're gonna record that.
Yeah, we are.
Heck, yeah.
so I'm kind of scared. I don't know how I'm gonna act. I don't know if I'm gonna be violent or. or
Dragon's gonna
something
end
else.
up in the bathtub.
I will tell you that we are going to go live on the 31st for our podcast that week. It's going to be a
Ooh.
day later, but
Yeah.
it's going to be live for New Year's Eve. And tune in because I have no idea how that's going to turn out because there will be drinks involved and we're
Oh,
all going to
man.
be in studio again. Holly's coming back to Missouri actually.
Oh, sweet.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's
going
awesome.
to be, we got a lot of fun stuff planned for that day. So
I'll
Um,
just end up passed out. It's just-
Yeah, I mean, it's live.
Lost.
At some point, we may all just drop to the table, right? And then for an hour, we may just everybody come watch us being passed out. Who knows what's gonna happen?
randomly puking.
It'll be fun.
So you guys like to do taste tests, and we talked a little bit about that. But what was probably the worst taste test that you guys have done to date?
Okay, let me stop you real fast. You said like, and I don't think there's anything that we like about the taste test. Except Greg.
Well,
Greg
hey,
doesn't
Greg
Greg
likes
seems to
everything.
like it.
Sour pickle balls were the worst. Sour pickle balls. Ugh.
Yeah, it's sour pickle balls are the one chip challenge. I'm telling you what, that one chip challenge hurt so much. I thought that the roof of my mouth was bleeding.
Oh,
Like
man.
it set me on fire.
Yeah.
But nothing tastes worse than
Sour
the
pickle
sour
balls.
pickle balls. I have never spit out anything until we did sour pickle balls.
Yeah, Ollie even ate that.
That just sounds bad.
She only ate it
Ew.
because she didn't have anything to spit it in. And it turned your fingers green, your tongue green, your lips green.
Ew.
It was
Yeah, that made
nasty.
your stomach hurt instantly.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So
It was all
don't ever
powder.
buy
It
those.
was all powder with a little gummy in the middle.
It
It's-
was
Like
nasty.
Mexican candy.
And we were actually supposed to have a guest that day, and we shipped him his, but he canceled on us.
Oh,
And
no.
so I didn't tell him whether or not it was good or not. So I'm kind of curious to know if he ate it.
Yeah, we should have told him the best one.
That's the evil coming out at me. It's like,
You're
ooh.
supposed to put it all in your hand and eat it all at once.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because there were several in that bag, but we only ate one.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's horrible.
Maybe
I
that's
think
why
that
he
was
hasn't
weapon.
contacted us again. Maybe he ate it. He was like, screw those guys.
Thankful that we chose liquor for our.
Yes,
that's-
yes.
How much we would have thought of that. If we could have done Fireball from day one.
You know, in the last episode, I was a little hurt. There's two types of people in the world, and a third type that doesn't really exist. The
This
best
is
kind is
deep.
the best kind is the type of people that watch The Office. It's an active thing. Okay?
Yep.
It's not a passive. It's not. And there's the second type that have watched The Office, and there's a third type that never has seen it, and they're not real. They're not real. I don't believe in them.
They don't exist.
They don't exist.
Those
And
tribes
so-
in Africa that don't have TVs aren't real because they've never seen the Office.
They're not real. And I gotta say, like, it just seemed like you guys were maybe the second type of people that have watched The Office and don't watch it, and it broke my heart a little bit.
Okay, hold on,
What?
hold on.
I have the box set. at
Yeah,
home.
we love The Office. It's Holly that doesn't like it. And so, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah,
said
we
that.
love The Office.
Seen it all the way through.
Yeah, I actually own the box set too. I've watched every episode at least 3 times, I would guess. So don't get it twisted. These 3 guys love The Office. It's Holly that is not a big
Yeah.
fan.
Oh.
So
Maybe that helps your heart a little bit.
Yeah, it
it
hurt me.
does, but they're my best friends. I watch it 3 or 4 times a year.
Oh wow.
So it just seems like maybe you don't like it, and I judge
We
you.
need, we need to watch more.
Wow, I mean,
That's all right.
Who's your favorite
that's like
character?
saying
on
I
The
bench
Office?
press 350, but it's not quite good enough. I need to get the 400. What the hell?
I'm just
I just
kidding.
bench
I'm
press
just kidding.
350.
We barely exist, according to him.
Podcast over, I'm leaving.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm glad that you guys brought it up though. It's just like when they left Netflix, I was trying to find something to fill my time because I would just fill my time with The Office. Literally, that's what I did. Is
Mhm.
I watch it, and before I caved and just got Peacock, my wife came in and I was like, I don't know, like taking an Epsom salt bath or something random, and the most random shit that you've ever heard in your life was playing on my phone, and she just looked at me like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm so bored." And she literally looks at me in the face. She goes, "What's wrong? Your best friends are gone?" Because she knows that's how much I love The Office. That like it was a sad day, but then I got Peacock. But either way, like I just want to be able to like give references and them. That's
You
That's
will
what I'm coming from.
So
understand
you were
every
sulking
reference.
in a Epsom bath?
yeah.
That was your low point.
Yeah.
Was soaking. while you were sulking in an Epsom bath, and
I
your wife
believe
was
it,
like trying
yeah.
to console you. So
Yeah.
Neil, in one sentence, you can figure out what Neil is really like.
I understand.
I'm gonna have to rethink this friendship.
He really is dramatic. No.
It is true.
It's all right.
So Neil, who's your favorite character on The Office?
Yeah. So, I actually did something. I don't have an answer, and this is why. I went and watched it all the
That's
way
not how
through.
podcasts work, Neil.
But this is what I did. I watched it one time for every character, and what I did the entire way through is focused all my attention on that character. Like, and I will say
Dang.
this: that show is so deep. There are so many little things that, like, you cannot watch it enough time and catch it all. And so, like, for Meredith, Creed, Stanley, Phyllis, Meredith, literally every character, I watched that series in its entirety and focused on that character. And I love them all, but if I'm gonna be honest, I have Creed has a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah.
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
You're gonna like
Um,
publish something about that show, your journal or something.
Yeah, you should make a book.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody's watched
For
it that
real.
many times, but I thought I was a fan. Hell,
I did, Greg. I do have one question to clarify. Did you say that you have seen it every episode? Was that your like claim there? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I've seen it all the way through.
Once.
Just once though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good enough. Greg.
Yeah.
I know it's not good
I
enough.
believe that, right?
You suck at
I was
life.
Yeah,
Team
me and, the,
Greg.
me and the wife binged it.
I was Team Greg.
I know.
Yeah, you were, but
Break
you know
my
what?
heart.
I'm not even going to talk about that.
Are your feelings hurt?
How do I redeem it?
Oh, this isn't
I mean,
video, is it? So
no.
people can't see me wiping the
You're
tears.
crying.
Caleb came in our Discord and did redeem himself a little bit because he started watching it again, and that
Yes.
made me feel a little better. So good job,
Yep.
Caleb.
Yeah, when it came off of Netflix, I bought the box set and started watching.
Oh, fancy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a heck of a lot
He
cheaper
had
than
to earn
Peacock.
points.
Yeah.
He screwed up our counting channel. He had to earn
I know.
points to get like
yeah.
make sure we didn't ban him.
Man, you know,
That's true.
Oh, I was close. No.
it's like Stomach.
Yeah, you got a
Um,
lot making up to
I
do.
do.
So with that, the question here, because there was a question to all this, I was just being dramatic effect. But what
Like it.
who are you in The Office? Like, what character best summarizes?
So we actually asked that in one of our podcasts, but we made the other, I guess it was last week,
Yeah.
but we made the other ones vote. I can't remember who you guys voted for me, but I felt it hurt my feelings. I know that.
Yeah, that was the right one. Who was it?
Nard dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
That's
in
what I
Nard
was gonna
Dog.
say. Yeah.
And you were
Nard Diggity
Creed.
Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Creed.
So who do you think you are?
Yeah, that's what I want to
Kevin.
Kevin?
I'm Kevin.
Kevin?
No, you're not.
Did not
You're
see
not.
that coming.
That is not true.
But why do
Okay,
you say
next
that?
podcast, Caleb. Next podcast, there needs to be a huge jar of M&Ms sitting there. Okay, like just
Oh,
fulfill
there he
this
is.
for me.
Okay. I'll bring M&Ms and I'll bring a bowl of chili and dump it on the floor.
If you find like chili on the floor, Greg's gonna kick your ass. I don't want any part of it. Did you guys
Why
see
do
how
you-
giant Caleb was on the last pot, or when we did the tortilla challenge?
Be
Yeah.
fair, he's
Oh,
right
yeah.
next to
People, how
Holly, though,
big
and
he
she's
is.
like,
She's tiny.
Yeah, this TV is legit like 7 feet to the top of it, or really close to it. And Caleb's head's taller than that, and I don't think people understand how big he is. He's a big dude. So whatever he wants, we just do.
Yeah.
Who are you on The Office?
Oh, if I had to pick one, I'd be
Meredith?
Michael Scott.
I think you would be too,
Oh yeah.
because
for
you're
sure.
awkward.
Yeah, I like to make things awkward. That's where I thrive.
You're doing it on
I'm
purpose,
comfortable in
though.
those situations.
I know you do it on purpose. Yeah, I don't really know who I am. I have no idea.
Toby.
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 Oh,
The guy
Oh,
everybody
my.
hates. Yes.
That's
Sure.
so mean.
Yeah,
I can see that.
screw you guys.
oh my gosh.
The
I
Crypto
think
Bros
Toby was
break up
cool.
on,
Yeah.
on the
Cool.
Chaotic Exposure podcast.
We're all gonna burn.
Honestly, most days I probably feel like Stanley. I don't have the patience. I'm just like, hell with you guys. Like, let's go. Let's do what we're here to do.
One of
That's
the
true.
one
Well,
of the
we
things
never
I
have
do.
pretzel day.
One of the things I always do every year is watch Christmas episodes, and it's
Yeah.
my ritual, right? And after the duel, after the Moroccan Christmas is the duel, and
Yeah.
then there's the fire drill episode where Stanley has a heart attack, and I just watched that.
That is
one.
the best.
Yeah,
I just
the
have to
best
say,
episode.
Yeah.
stress relief is the best one.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
actually makes you anxious watching it, but I cry laughing every time I see it.
He's like, oh my god, I'm dying. It's so good.
Michael Scott gets close to him.
the beep starts, and then Kevin says, "I think you're what's stressing everything out, Michael."
Oh.
That's,
The funny
Yeah.
thing, like, no one remembers that or talks about Will Ferrell. Like, I always stop right there. Like, I don't
I
continue.
hate it. I
D'Angelo
That's my
hated him
worst.
on it.
Yeah,
It was the
it
worst
was the
thing that
worst
happened.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was the worst character on that show, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
They could have
I
made that
hated him.
so good, and they just
Mhm.
botched
They
it.
botched it so bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really liked it when Jim hospitalized himself,
Yeah.
and then he comes back to the office in his gown and is
Yeah.
like,
His
just
IV
talking
pole.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some good moments. I'm a little more forgiving on D'Angelo Vickers. He served his purpose
D'Angelo.
well.
I will tell you when Pam and Jim brought their baby in and he acted like he cared about it. And then afterwards, he's like, you can add that baby to the long list of babies I don't care about. I was like, I can relate to you there.
Yeah,
The rest of it, I wasn't a big fan of.
yeah, that's awesome.
So who would Neil?
I know who I would be, and it's unfortunate, but I'd be the worst parts of Michael and the worst part just shaken up together.
Oh my god.
Like I play the dumbest video board games. I am the most dramatic. If I clamped my foot in a Foreman grill, I would literally try to get whiskey to butter my foot, just like Pam. Like
I see it. I can see it. You-
I'm the worst parts
Wow.
of both. I'm proud of it.
Good.
Wow.
Know
Yeah.
thyself.
I was kind of hoping maybe someday we could meet and hang out, but now I'm not sure.
Sounds glorious to me.
Neil would absolutely show up and record with his fried foot in the camera view so we could all stare at
Yeah.
it just to give him sympathy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Know thyself.
What about Dragon?
Oh, me? I think I would be Jim. I like Jim.
Jim.
And then I like doing pranks. Like
You're a little
I
quiet, but then when you speak, it's like you've got these zingers, so I could see that.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like
Yeah.
Jim because he kind of sits in the background a lot, doesn't say anything,
Subtle.
but then he's just like,
Mhm.
"Man, get you."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's Dragon for sure.
Just like poker, that's how I like to play.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Josh is gonna cry again. We're just
Yeah.
breaking his heart today.
wow.
I have been on a fast ride.
This is just Toby.
Let me tell you.
This is Toby.
Yesterday, I about threw my phone through the living room because I was like, "Can I get a card higher than a 6?" And I'm not sure I did. It was pretty bad, but I'll be back. I'll be back. I still got
So the
I still
greatest-
got to qualify.
The greatest thing about we do Misfits poker like every night, and I have been doing giveaways for everybody like at least once a week, sometimes twice. Well, poor Josh, like he just asks, is there a prize? And I'll say, yeah, the first, the winner gets. And he's like, okay, well then I'll be in second place this time. And then the next night there's no prize, and he gets first place, and so it's just an ongoing joke.
For
He knows
real,
he never
like
wins.
That's
for
awesome.
like a week
Oh, yeah.
straight, every time there was a prize, I got second, and when there wasn't, I won.
Yeah, he cries about it.
Oh yeah,
We hear about it.
I like poker, and I've played it for a long time, and it really angers me. But
Hulk smash.
I will tell you though, that's part of the sort of the things that you guys do for your community that make that so unique. Like people talk
That's
about
fun.
being communities, but your guys' Discord is second to none.
Oh
if you
yeah,
ask me.
yours is the best ever.
yeah.
It is awesome. And I mean, honestly, we would love to meet you guys in person and hang out for
Poker
even an
tournament live.
evening. Yeah, even if it
That'd be
was
cool.
like, I mean, I think it would be complete chaos, but it would be.
Oh,
a
yeah.
blast.
Oh yeah.
There'll
Good
be
content.
cops
Hilarious.
involved.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do
Make
that
sure there's
somewhere
bail
at
money.
one of your guys' places, so we don't have to go to our local Kale.
We're gonna have a GoFundMe for the bail money.
There you go.
Let's get that thing started now, then, because there's a lot of us.
I think we should meet at a Chiefs game. We should absolutely go to a Chiefs game and then go out
Ooh.
to like a bar afterwards and go to a
Yeah.
casino. That is like top night for me. I want to go to a Chiefs game with the Crypto Bros and then we can go drink and gamble.
Oh yeah, that would
Wait.
We
definitely.
can even
Ooh,
throw in
nice.
like tattoos. I'm good with that. We can do
That's
that.
too bad.
I could get down with all of that. I would be good with all of that.
Yeah.
If they decide to show up and play, the last couple of weeks has not been fun. They
It's
just kind of
listen,
going
I'm-
through the motions.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's still
Packers
great
fan.
time.
It has been a terrible year.
Can you
So-
mute Neil?
Oh, wow.
I can launch him
Dang.
right now.
Can you launch him?
Whatever.
Sorry, Neil. You know I love you.
Just tell Toby to shut up.
I hate so much of the things that you choose to be.
I'm gonna change Josh's name in our Discord server to Toby.
Hey, I answered a lot worse. Let me tell you.
You're still talking, huh?
Yeah.
So, I have a question, unless someone else does. A few episodes ago on Crypto Bros and Holly Girl, there was a moment, and it's almost replicated on the table right now. And I just felt like there was more to this and what you guys thought about it.
I'm scared.
So, Josh, you were drinking a Mountain Dew. Greg,
Yeah.
you were drinking, I believe, a Celsius,
Yeah.
and Caleb was drinking a coffee, if I'm not mistaken.
Hot tea.
Hot tea. Okay.
Mhm.
A hot beverage that wasn't like a
Yes.
carbonated beverage, right? And I just
Correct.
felt like that said a lot about you guys unintentionally. And I just wanted to hear what you thought about that.
On those little subtle things.
So, tell me what you think that means.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, I think that means me and you actually do have a lot in common because I would definitely have. But I
But
just
you're
feel
still
like,
Team Greg.
well, I mean, I'm not anymore, honestly, after he said what he said
What
about the
the-
office.
Can we cuss on this podcast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
I mean,
Been
I kinda
bragging
lost
about
some-
you.
Hold him down,
Like,
Caleb. Hold him
please.
down.
All right, man.
It's
Broke
okay.
my-
If you get in a fight with Neil, I'll help you.
I'm just on Caleb's team. I don't really care who's fighting who, but whoever Caleb's mad at, that's what I'm jumping on that bandwagon.
I'm staying out of it.
To me, it seems like Caleb's the most put together. Greg's down to just get weird, and
All right.
Josh is
Greg likes to get
just
weird.
down to with the flow, and that's kind of how
We don't care what what Toby.
So Caleb's the most put together. Greg's down to get weird, and I was what?
It's like down to go with the flow. That's kind of how I interpret the drink choices.
What
Yeah,
does
I
my
mean-
kombucha say about me?
Ooh.
I know.
Too.
This feels like
Yeah.
a
Greg
therapy
loves
session.
kombucha.
Yeah, what that says is your team, Greg, because he drinks that too.
Like kombucha.
Like Greg says, like a 21-year-old college student. That's what that says about the Celsius. If we're gonna be rude.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
No,
Yeah.
that is pretty spot on. No, honestly,
It's got antioxidants.
I basically only drink things that have caffeine or alcohol in them.
Mm.
That's why I drink Mountain Dew, because I can only drink so many Red Bulls, and then my head starts to explode. So
Yeah,
then I
Red Bull
switch-
gives me migraines. There's some sweetener in it. It does
If I
not.
drink more than like
I thought it
40
gave you
ounces
wings.
of it, it does.
He's supposed to give you wings, man.
Migraines.
Bullcrap.
But what? So did you guys ever intentionally think about this? Is this something you've ever talked about? Is what do you think that means, if anything? I genuinely want to hear what your take is, because I've noticed it. Okay, Josh, you have a Mountain Dew in front of you right now.
It's code red too. Special day.
Neil, I like how you think.
So I have an answer for your question, Neil, and it's very, very simple. No.
Okay,
Okay.
nailed it.
I'm just the go with the flow guy, man. I don't think that far ahead. It's just a Mountain Dew. I like Mountain
We'll
Dew.
have a new segment called
This
Deep
is so
Thoughts.
fun to watch. This is just like it's so fun to sit back and watch Neil interact with our guests on a level that we're used to, but they're not. And it's like, who the hell is this guy? Like, who thinks like that? No one thinks like that. I
So
drink
what-
Fireball because I like it. I have never thought deeper than that. Like, it just doesn't-
Oh yeah,
Something
that's
there.
why I'm team whiskey. Hey, I do have a question though for Neil. Dude, you need to get a new camera.
Yes, yes.
I have this horrible
Like-
computer. It's a ThinkPad. They're probably $100 out of the box at best.
Yeah.
I need a real computer. That's the
Oh,
Yeah.
we've been saying this for months.
So I can tell that you invested some money in a mic, right?
yeah.
It took a little while though.
But you gotta invest the money into a camera, dude.
I almost bought the combo pack, but I just want the computer though. That's the thing. Like I don't want to buy
Oh
a
my
camera
God.
just to get a.
Instead, he's just wasting his money on demons, NFTs.
That's true. Those puppets.
So
See, now I could tell why Dragon's voice is so clear and stuff too by watching because he's got the whole setup, man.
He's
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
good.
I'm
Go
all
with that
fancy.
mic. Yeah.
I would defend you, Neil, but you know why. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I put a lot of money into NFTs this year, and there's no money from.
That's fair.
I'm just looking at everything in the background to see if I pick up on anything.
You know, it's funny
So-
though,
Got a book
is talking to you guys is you guys each have your own unique personalities, just kind of like we do. And you guys feed off of each other's personalities, just like we do. I could only imagine if you guys were in the same room all day long like we are. Because
Yeah,
it does
would be
it
wild.
actually chaos would be probably a better name for our podcast than the Crypto Bros. But we're not that smart. We didn't think that far ahead because that's pretty much is chaos. But it's fun chaos. It's just chaotic.
Most of the time.
So here's how we came to be where we are. So briefly, Neil comes to me with the idea of doing a podcast, which I always thought it would be cool to do, but I've just never, I hate the sound of my voice. I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to like talk to people. It just didn't interest me. But then Neil comes to me and he kind of says, we're in this Discord chat and we're all just hanging out and talking, and it wouldn't be anything that's like deep, business, just having fun, our normal conversations. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And he's like, who do you think would be a good fit? And instantly we're like, Dragon.
Yeah.
So we were like hoping that Dragon would absolutely be on board with it. He was right away. It was awesome. I was so
Yeah.
excited.
I was surprised.
Yeah, we were kind of surprised too because they're like, he might not do it. But then we started talking about the names and we threw out a couple different names. And then
Are you gonna share those with us?
yeah, so let me think. Our first one was
Well, we started talking about names and stuff, and our big thing was like, what do we want from the podcast? Like, what kind of topics are we going to talk about? Because when I working on naming my company, it was like, okay, where is your focal point? Like, draw from that to like make your name work with it. Like Crypto Bros, you guys, it makes sense. You know what you're doing. You know what your topics are going to be, kind of, and who's involved. So we threw out some different ones, and we're like, we ended up with Exposure because we wanted to kind of dive into the people themselves and like pull from their stories and like really open up who they are. So we went with that. And then we were struggling with the first part of it. And then Neil comes into Discord one day and called Dragon that he's chaos, or he said something about Dragon having so much chaos or something. And I'm like, light bulb. So I went into our chat and I'm like, I got it. It's chaotic. And so then we like ran with it, and
That's
it
perfect.
fits. It
Yeah.
fits.
Oh yeah,
That just worked.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned all the stuff. So this is the homeschool room in our house. We're starting a cult here in Minnesota on the farm.
Sweet.
And so we homeschool, indoctrinate our. But you see that shelf up there?
Yeah.
That's all the stuff I bought for Cats R Us that I'm supposed to send to him.
Oh,
that I
really?
was supposed to do like a month and a half ago, and it's just still sitting there. So that's fun. Sorry,
Whoops.
Cats.
At least you're on top of it.
Yeah, I bought it all. I got G2 and Prime and Twizzlers and candy corn and all kinds of great stuff. But it's just sitting on the shelf.
You're sending candy corn?
Yes, because he doesn't have it.
That
there.
is the rudest thing ever in the
Shut
Are
whole
you guys
your
friends
world.
or?
It's a mental gift.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know, we had cats on, and I'm telling you, shipping him stuff is not easy. He actually is, I
Yeah.
think, the only guest we've had so far that had to go buy his own thing because
Yeah.
his Amazon and our Amazon do not sell the same things. And so he went and got his own sour
Sour,
candy
yeah.
something, I think, and we just had ours delivered. But
I
yeah,
love chatting with cats, man.
he's so awesome.
Oh man, yeah.
My first show I ever did, it was very short lived. It was called, what was it called? Breaking the Ice in DeFi. And he was one of my very first guys. Yeah, just incredible guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him too. We don't typically do serious, but he's got a Christmas fundraiser going on.
Yeah.
So you should definitely,
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
listening, go and check that out and help him deliver some toys. Right? He does toys.
Yeah, toys for the kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, he's a good guy. I tell you what, that's part of what makes this so awesome is since we've started having guests, just the people we got to meet, even if it was just over a Zoom call, some of the people I would have guessed that, yeah, we'd get along, but not to the point that we actually did, like Whiskey being one of them. I would say, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but Whiskey's definitely in the top 3 of who we enjoyed having on. And Whiskey knows.
Wait. Say that again. Say that again.
I don't know if I can because the fact he was leaving. But we like to have conversations before and afterwards, right? And sometimes before doesn't usually last very long because they know what time to get in and this and that. But afterwards, sometimes those conversations last 2 or 3 hours where Greg has to like leave to start editing the video. Otherwise, it's not coming out on
Whipping
time.
boy.
Yeah, he's the whipping boy.
Yeah.
But no, we've met so many good people on this that was part of the surprise that I wasn't expecting, you know, is the people that we get to have conversations with that I really hope someday we get to meet in person. You know, we've yet to have a guest that when we were done, I was like, yeah, didn't care for that person.
Yeah.
You know, everybody we've been lucky enough that everybody we've had has just been outstanding and supportive too after the fact. You know, people helping us retweet our stuff and get it out there. And that's part of the reason why our channel has grown as much as it has over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I think we have 4,000
are
subs in the
booming
last
now.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
congratulations.
Yeah.
By the
Thank
way,
you.
killing the game. It's so cool to see.
Yeah, we just got to get more viewing hours. So, because all we really want to do is get to where we can monetize our channel, and then we want to do giveaways with it. That's the whole point. And I would love to be able to. We've talked about this so many times. To like every week be able to give away $500, and
Yeah.
every week just do that. If that's how much money the channel generated, then so be it. Because you know what a difference that would make if somebody woke up on a Friday and they had extra $500 in their wallet, and you could continuously do that 52 weeks out of the year. That would be so
Yep.
sweet. I mean,
That'd be nice.
giving it away might be a bigger thrill than actually winning it, to me anyway. So that's our whole goal, you know. And whether or not people believe it, I don't know. There's always fudders out there, and I know there's
Bring
people
on the
that think we
fudders.
have other agendas,
Motherfuckers.
mother fudders. But we seriously don't have any other agendas, and I think that's why Holly fits so well too, because she doesn't either. You know, we're just real people. We just want to help
Yeah.
back. You hear me say it all the time, especially with you guys. It's just people helping people, and that's
Mhm.
what we're all about, 100%. So anywhere we can help you guys out, we try to. I don't know how well, you know, anything we retweet helps you guys or whatever, but we just want to help good people. So it's been a thrill.
No, yeah. That's something that like questioning motives is something that I just never feel like I do with people. I just give people the benefit of the doubt or try to, because my motives are questioned all the time. There's a reason for why I do stuff. I'm sure that I have horrible motives and I just haven't found it yet, but there's something so satisfying about giving back. I would, if I have it, I'll give it to you. Even if I don't have it, I'll try to find a way to get it to you. But there's just
Mhm.
something so satisfying about helping someone or making someone's day or giving something that maybe you absolutely love, but you think it would be better for them to have it. It just doesn't matter what it is, but there's something about giving, and that's something that from the day that I met you guys was like they're real, they're authentic,
Yeah.
they absolutely are the real deal, and I thrive on being people like that. I absolutely love
Yep.
having you guys in our Discord and giving you shit and getting it back, and it's just so much fun.
Oh,
Family.
Chuck, I tell my wife all about it.
I always yell at Whiskers for giving away so much.
Too
Like
much.
every day she wants to give away stuff. I'm like, no, stop.
They yell at me all the time. They do.
Whiskey, you are one of the most generous people that we have met in this space. I mean, you truly are, especially being in your Discord and seeing all the giveaways you do. It's honestly for me, um, it's inspiring. It's awesome to run into people that have the same like-mindedness of what they're trying to. And you put your money where your mouth is. That is truth. So good job.
Yep, you've
And
made Discord
I even
great
said
again.
this. I even said this yesterday in Discord because we had Tom Frazier on the show, and he actually said on the show that no one on their team has gotten paid, but one person, and so that means, including him or Alex, so, and there's only 3 of them, right, in the mods, but but that means all of those things she's done on her own.
Yeah.
That just to me like
That's amazing.
blows my mind. Blows my
Yeah,
mind.
it is.
And she does it for the show too. It's like, Whiskey, stop. Like, let's
Yeah.
talk about giveaways and I can help. You know what I mean? Like, just calm down.
Yeah.
Oh,
But she
we-
just doesn't know how to stop.
We should talk about the fight the Crypto Bros did with Holly about the giveaway on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Do we have to? Like, I was so sure I was gonna win. All I wanted was that mug. That's all I wanted. And then it could have been anyone else to win that, but Holly won. And then I get to hear about it.
Can't you just be
And-
happy for her?
And in
Was that
all
the first thing she
honesty,
said when she came in?
what?
When she met us, didn't she bring that up?
She might have, but she was smart enough not to bring the mug
Yeah,
because it might have got lost. But no, in all honesty, I like to give her a hard time about it, but that woman gives a lot back to the community too, and it is pretty cool that she won. Hopefully,
Oh yeah.
she doesn't listen to like this 2-minute part of the podcast.
Where you're
But I
commending
do
her.
like to give her, I do like to give her a hard time about it. But I don't think she gets enough credit for who she is. She is so genuine and so nice and so sweet and honest and open and supportive and smart. I don't think anybody understands how smart she is. She is just a great all around person, and I like to actually see her win stuff.
Mhm.
Even though I like to pretend like I don't. But on the flip side of that, I can't stand it when people jump on her and fud her. It just drives me insane.
It's
Oh,
Because
so
if
dumb.
you knew Holly, you would never say a bad thing about her.
Apparently she's a paid shiller, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
dumb. So
People
stupid.
like, yeah, and what enjoyment do you get out of that? Why would you want to be that person that's jumping on someone like Holly? You know?
I just don't
I don't know,
understand.
it's
Your
weird.
life must suck so bad.
Mhm.
You just get so much joy out of making others feel like shit and giving them. I mean, it's like the people that fed Safe Moon.
Yeah.
Like, why? If you're not happy with someone or something, do your mental health and your
Be an
entire
adult.
life and everyone around it a favor and just leave.
Yeah.
Just walk away from it. You
Yeah.
don't have to sit there and act like everyone needs to be on your side with it and let's all fud together. It just makes no sense to me. It just
Yeah.
doesn't.
But that's life, right? I mean, we see people all the time. They always have to pick a team. They always have to pick a side. You know, we
Mhm.
give each other
Yeah,
a hard
Neil.
time in
Yeah,
Discord.
Neil.
What's that?
Team
She
Greg.
said, yeah.
Yeah, but we give each other we give each other a hard time about that stuff, right? And it's a joke.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we all would still support each other as a team
Yeah.
or as individuals. I would never go on, even if I felt that way, I would never go on to say your Twitter, Whiskey, and just start slamming you about things I don't even understand, because that's what most of it is misinformation.
Yeah.
And it just drives me crazy. I'm sure that Dragon and Neil would the same way. Like if people were treating you that way, they would want to physically jump into that situation and take care of it. And
Mhm.
sometimes Holly has to say, "It's okay, Jai.
Yeah.
Calm down. I'm used to
gonna
this."
say-
This is like my mind is blown because every time they talk, I'm like, Holly and I are the same. And then instead of having 3 guys, I have Dragon and Neil. I don't know how many times I would go to them with something and they're like, let us do it. I'm like, just it's not worth it. It's
Happened
just not
yesterday.
worth it. Just leave it. Yes. I mean, like, I don't know how much shit I get all the time. Like random shit. And it just like blows my mind to where I'm just like, you know what? I'm done for the day. And Dragon and Neil are like freaking pit bulls that are ready to just defend because they know who you are. They know your
Yeah.
motives. They know what you're like. They spend
Yeah.
all this time with you and they know that I don't have bad motives. Holly doesn't have bad motives.
Right.
I feel like I'm the most fair person and I feel like Holly's the most fair person. Like you genuinely know who you are. So for that to be threatened by ignorance, it's just the most frustrating thing. It's just
I
absurd.
feel like you got to give an honorary mention here to Bearded because he coined the term. Like he literally is the saying exists. Don't fuck with whiskers. Like you just
he does.
Yeah.
and that is the
It says it in his faces. Like I'll go into his face and he'll just be like, he'll try to get me to come up, and then for some reason his inner pit bull comes out and he's like, I'm gonna say it again. Don't fuck with whiskers. Like that's what he says all the time. I'm like, it's good.
Yeah, shout out to Bearded from this side of the table too, because we love that guy. He cracks me up. I've never really talked to him, voice wise whatsoever, but just the things and the DMs he'll send and things like that. It just someday I got to meet him too, because
yeah.
it
Oh
just
yeah.
it makes me laugh,
Yeah.
But and Whiskey, you can add these 3 guys to that list of pit bulls that will help you if you need something, because I literally there, and I won't bring up the guy's name because I don't like to give exposure. Look at that. Use your guys' but I literally texted Holly and I said, "You just tell me when. I've already got my whole attack planned."
I said that today. I said that today.
And she said, no, let it go. It's all right. And I'm like, I had a page of stuff. I was just ready. Let's go. And basically, like, if he said this, I was going to say this. It was like, it was like this whole tree. And I was ready to fire it all cylinders. And if I knew where he lived,
today,
I would have
like,
drove there. But yeah.
You just tell me when the gloves can come off because I'm ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So far, she hasn't let us.
To that.
You know what I love though, Josh, a minute ago is you definitely had a Michael Scott moment when you were talking about Holly, because there was this moment where they were trying to get interns and he made Pam go get a piece of paper from the office, and he was kind of like rude to her or whatever, and he turns to this student and he says, listen, I would never tell her this to her face, but she's a wonderful person in the world. And that was definitely what you just did. And I love that. I love that a lot. So
she knows how we feel about her.
Yeah.
That's one of the cool things too, is like we finally got to meet her in person, right? And so I feel like people can't fake things forever. Eventually the truth will come out. And she was the exact same person or the exact same person, I guess, in person than she was on any phone call we'd had, any text messages we've had, anything like that. So no, she's awesome. We're blessed to have her on the team. What the hell are you guys talking about?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Kaden wants to fight.
That's because he drank Fireball.
So we did 2 shots today. We did 2 rounds of drinks for you guys because you brought shots. One of the few guests that have ever done it. The only guest that I've ever done.
I love
So,
it.
I'm feeling kind of warm.
I know. I had to turn the fan on. I'm like, geez, she's a little toasty in here.
Well, the gas station next door has like buckets of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they got like a big old box, like a party pack with like 50 in there.
Yeah. So can I tell you a funny story about Fireball? Do we have time for that?
Oh
Go
yeah.
for it.
Okay, so we were talking about this earlier, how Whiskey is awesome. I'll just paraphrase. She's awesome. So we wanted to get her something for Christmas, right? So I found out the hard way that you can't mail alcohol in the United States.
You can't?
No, it's against the law. So Yeah, we went to the gas station and I bought a big thing of Fireball.
I
And
mean, you can.
no,
You just don't
you-
tell him what's inside.
Yeah,
but I didn't have a box,
you might
right?
get trouble.
So I didn't have a box, so I needed a box. So it's pretty obvious what was happening. So yeah, I have the exact same Fireball that we mailed you in my refrigerator because I had to go through an online company to give you your Fireball because the lady at the post office, she wasn't very nice, and you can't mail alcohol. Okay, just so everybody knows that's illegal. And
The more you know.
yeah, and she even said if you would have brought it in a box and not told her that they do scans or whatever, I don't know, she might be a liar. But
What?
yeah, and
Try it.
sometimes if you've never been busted before, they'll send you a mean letter. But there is actually jail time for like a second offense. Yeah, so funny story. Don't try that.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah,
kind
that's
of want to try
amazing.
it now.
Luckily, we are in a small town, and it's all good. I'm not going to go to jail
Not this time.
this
Yeah.
time. But I actually have a giant thing of Fireball now in my refrigerator as a reserve.
So let me tell you, this is a whiskey original. Mix that with some apple juice. You're welcome.
Oh,
You
she
look
already
great.
told me that's my jam now. That's what I'm all
Oh
about.
man, I
Yeah,
love
Yeah.
it. It's dangerous.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
You're
used to mix it
welcome.
with cream soda, but apple juice is actually better.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is. I
it's
mean,
Well,
don't
I'm
get me wrong, I
glad that
love
my
it.
gift didn't put you in jail. I would have felt really guilty. Like,
We're very
talk about
close.
flooding whiskey. Whiskey's the reason that Josh is in jail. I can see Twitter now.
Me and Caleb would have had a lot to talk about on the podcast.
This chair would have just been empty.
So one more obnoxious office question.
Sure.
This is a question that came from the episode. Ryan started the fire with the toast in the toaster oven.
Yeah.
And they were all outside in the parking lot. This was when Jim wasn't with Pam yet. Anyways, they played Desert Island, and I think we should play Desert, just like
Do
we
it.
did in that episode.
Yeah.
And this
Okay.
is actually Whiskey's question, so I'm gonna let Whiskey ask a question.
This may start fights, but we're just gonna wing it. So you're trapped on a desert island, and you are. If we're all gonna do it, let's just pair. So you're trapped on a desert island. You get one movie, one food, and one. I was gonna say bro, so we could split it. But one bro that who would you want and what would you want on that desert island?
One movie, one
He's
food,
not
and
ready
one
laughing.
bro.
Yeah, like. So you three pick. Out of you three, would you want? Like, would you want Caleb with you, Josh, or would you want Greg with you?
Caleb.
That's bullshit.
He's a giant, man.
Yeah, I mean,
there could be
they're
like
actually brothers.
gorillas or like lions or something on this island,
There is
and
no hesitation.
Caleb
None.
would rip them.
But I'm gonna eat more food.
Yeah, but you could throw me to the shore.
Yeah, he would.
At least something.
Could you just fish bait?
I love Greg, even though I hate him. I love him.
Pick me.
No, I would pick. Greg knows I love him, but I would pick
Yeah.
Caleb for two reasons. He's a giant, and he would protect me, and I've known him for his whole life. So I mean, we are really brothers in real life.
I would expect you to pick him.
Yeah, if not, there's something wrong with your soul, Greg. Food wise, like it's never gonna run out. Like I don't have to worry about it spoiling. Like
Oh, there's no trick questions. It's just
I
like,
didn't think about it that deeply, but go
oh
ahead.
no, no,
Pizza.
it's
pizza.
Yep, it's that deep.
I just
Neil's
want
gonna
pizza.
pick up on it.
Pizza time.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
and you
what
said a
movie?
movie?
Well, movie.
that's hard.
No,
I swear
Warrior.
if you say Top Gun, I'm gonna die.
No, have you
Oh,
ever seen the
just
movie
thinking.
Warrior?
No.
It's got Tom Hardy and
Oh,
Hold on, let me write that down. What's it called?
yeah. Hold on.
That's a good movie.
Warrior.
That's a good movie.
It's MMA, right? Or is it boxing?
And there are two
Oh
brothers. that-
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good one. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not just about the MMA for me. The relationship between the family is what
Mhm.
really gets me. And I am not a hugely emotional dude. There's probably only like 3 or 4 movies in my life that made me tear up. That one gets me every time. I mean that is good. And I think for me, I'm the oldest out of 4 kids. Looking at it the way the older brother looks at his younger brother really relates to me. Like he wants to protect him, and and he's going through all this chaos. But notice how I threw that in there.
Again.
But no, if you haven't seen the movie Warrior, that's probably my all-time favorite movie.
Yeah,
It is at least
that's
top
a good
3.
one.
What say you, Greg?
Oh, I would definitely have Billy Madison would be the movie. Watch it over and over again.
Well done.
You know what food? It would be Captain
Captain
D's.
D's or Captain Titties?
Not Captain Titties.
Captain Titties.
What?
Did you guys
Thanks,
catch that on the
Holly.
podcast?
Thanks,
While
Holly.
thought he said
Look
Captain
what you've
Titties.
done.
That was,
Yeah.
That was the best part.
Although there was a restaurant named that. I mean,
Hey, I'm drinking more Fireball just for the record. I don't know if you guys want to.
I need my alcohol.
yeah, I love the deep fried fish, and I would probably just remain isolated. Wow.
I can smell.
Yeah, I'm just joking. What if I can't pick? I can't pick. I'll just.
You have to. This is
All
what we
right.
asked you. This is the
Oh.
show.
Wow.
If you don't
One of
fit,
them.
Caleb's gonna hit you
Yeah.
with a jump.
Like I can't abstain. What? I'd pick Caleb. Sorry.
That's fine.
Same
Anyways, Greg,
Same reason. You
look, just use you as fish bait. That's why you don't want to pick me.
All right.
I
I'd
love
probably,
this.
I'd probably watch Dumb and Dumber. That's my movie.
Forever?
I could see that.
Okay.
I knew you like
Tacos,
Ooh, I do like
Tacos.
taco.
crunchy or soft.
crunchy.
I didn't realize it
And-
was important.
It is if you're at the
Who
drive-through.
are you picking to go with you, Caleb?
Myself.
No, I would too. I would if I was you. I'd just
We just
clone
went through
myself.
this, Caleb.
You
Josh.
made Greg pick. It's only fair.
Josh is the
Oh,
champion.
he said Josh.
Oh yeah, they can't see us. Yeah, that's why he did that.
I took a screenshot.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's awesome.
No, I will tell you though that our Caleb and I, like I said, we're really brothers. But Greg is a brother too. He really is, and I know we give each other a hard time, but especially behind the scenes, what makes this so awesome is that we get to do this together every week, and I know that in a time of need, either one of these guys would do anything for me, and vice versa. And I think part of that kind of comes through the podcast, even when we give each other a hard time, which is kind of what we were hoping to give, like a little bit different look than regular spaces and just give people a break from chart watching. And when we do get CEOs on or moderators on or whatever it may be, to let people get to know them in a different way, because we're all about people. Without people, none of this matters, right? So, even though we didn't pick Greg, we still love him. I just
love
had
that
to
you
say
had-
that so you
I-
wouldn't cry.
I should have. Here's what I should have done before we started this episode. I should have bet whiskey and dragon $1 million, because I just
Why?
love that. Because that's your like. It's actually one of the things I love about your show. Is you have this like 1,000-foot view, and like that you kind of drive throughout talking. That you're like, yes, this is fun, but this is the big picture, and this is what matters. You have a good way of doing that, and I love it. And I should have bet. I should have put money on you doing that here, because yeah, and I love that. That's not a knock. That's something
No,
that's
no.
Oh
beautiful.
yeah.
I'm with
He
you,
sees
but
the deep thing.
I on purpose try to let people know how much they mean to me, because it does matter. Relationships matter. Without that, what's the point, right? And I'm guilty of this too. As human beings, we do not show appreciation enough to one another. We do not thank each other enough. We probably don't even put ourselves out there enough to help one another. But we always tell everyone that comes on here, I think we probably told this to Whiskey too, if we can help you guys in any way, just let us know, because we don't always know what needs to be done, but we are always willing to help. And that's just how we like to treat people, and our real good close friends, that's how they treat us. That's just our
And
heart.
the reason I call it out too, and this is something that I don't talk a lot about on the podcast, mainly because I don't want my teenagers to find out about the podcast, because it would not be good for me. But I've been a youth pastor since 2011, and I work now. My role is technically a family pastor, but like I run all at the church that I work at, and so like that, like it was always something that really stuck out to me about you, John, because I just love seeing the, like, I don't know, you have that bigger brother vibe, and I'm probably putting the wrong words in because I'm drinking Tullamore Dews and it's definitely hitting because I didn't eat breakfast this morning. But
I'm actually like on my third. So
yeah,
that's
I
about
had
almost
like a
there.
double and a half shot, and then I had the shot with you guys. So like, my brain's a little fried, but it's just something that always stuck out to me about you, and I love that you give that big picture. I think it adds a lot of value to your podcast, and it's something I really admire, and just from a personal level because of who I am in real life, and I really enjoy it.
You have a real life.
I know it's crazy.
What's that like?
Wow.
No, I think the longer we do this, the longer people will understand where our hearts are, and we don't necessarily always have to say it. I think a real smart guy told me one time. He said, "Time and truth are like train tracks; that they'll always, eventually, they'll show you who you are, where you're going." And I think that's true. We're on podcast number what?
37.
37. After 37 episodes, if you watched every single one of them, you know who we are. It just bleeds through. And we decided when we started this, we didn't want to be anything fake. We just wanted to be genuine. And Caleb doesn't say a lot on a lot of the podcast, but you will not find a better guy than him. I'm telling you, Caleb. Even Greg can agree that you can't find a better guy than Caleb.
Family.
Oh, see, I give him praise, and then he slams Greg, which is kind of what Greg's here for. But it's just a
I
good group
agree.
of guys. I'm lucky to be in this group. I mean, I'm blessed to be in this group, and most of the time they feel the same way. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, liar. Greg's all over here like, what am I going to do? Caleb's going to punch me in the face if I say no.
There's a reason I said
What we all three of us like to serve and help out the community like that.
Yeah.
Sunday school.
believe it or not.
Yeah, we all have. I mean, crypto. One of the things we do for crypto, or we want crypto to be able to do for us, is we all have goals outside of just win Lambo, right? I hate the whole win Lambo thing. Like Caleb wants to have a place where kids that age out of foster care can go.
That's dope.
And learn more skills and things like that. I want to own a grocery store that costs like $50 a year, and that you can go in there and shop for free based on a membership. If crypto can fund those sort of things, we're all about it. I can't remember what year.
So Caleb,
Yeah.
we should chat about that because that's something I'm working on.
Really?
My long-term vision for the farm is that place they can
Yes.
to learn
Let's get
some
there.
vocational training. Yeah, and so like the farm's already in production. We're already giving shares to families that wouldn't normally have a share of a farm fresh crop. But long-term goals when crypto goes in is to have like woodworking and metalworking and automotive training and all that. And so we should chat about that because some of those kids need to get out of state, right? So if like when we get there, we can trade kids,
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah. I was in foster care, or I had foster care kids for about 10 years. Had about 16 of them, and my youngest one I actually adopted through foster.
That's awesome.
Actually, I like the same. I'm
Yeah.
in line with Caleb. I like to help the high schoolers and just I call them my misfits because I like the kids that people want to
That name's
discard.
taken.
Oh, I know, but that's what I call them. I call them my misfits. The kids that show up to church and the church would usually rush out the door into things they shouldn't be. I share
Totally.
the same thing with Caleb, But what's going on?
Yeah, so for those people that can't see what the hell's going on, what is all that animation? You gotta clue us into what all that is.
Just dying there.
Yeah, Neil's throwing butt emojis everywhere.
What am I doing, Dragon? What are you doing, Dragon?
I'm sorry.
Whiskey
It
started
just
it.
happens. It just happens. We get into
dancing
these deep
across your screen.
conversations. It was Porno Neil with his chest pat chair. Like, if I can find it, he's got a thong.
Oh my god. That's not me, just to be very clear.
That's perfect for a D.
When I woke up this morning, I was like, during this podcast, we could see Porno Neil.
So gross. Dragon is the one who said that's me, and he has this other emoji that says whore pills. So he puts that one up, and then puts whore pills up. It says take your pills, man. Like what are you doing? This is what I deal with. This is what I deal with.
You know, screens are
I'm
too
the-
small, so I couldn't really see what they were. I
Yeah.
just saw things flying back and forth. I was like, what's happening?
I'm the victim. That's what's happening.
Sometimes
just
when the
nodding at-
conversation gets too deep, Dragon and I launch like really inappropriate emojis
There you
just to keep it light. Like the peeing fox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm with you.
Right there, right in
That's
your
awesome.
face.
You're right. Yeah.
All right, so I think we've reached our limit with being able to keep you guys. We cannot thank you enough for being with us. We were so excited that you said yes and that the schedules
Mhm.
aligned for us to all like just goof off together. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Thank you for
Um,
having us.
Neil,
Thank you.
Dragon, did you have anything else?
I have something, but I'm gonna say it with Dragon. I'm gonna say a specific one. I think you should too.
Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna say that this was episode 9, and we will be back next week for episode 10. Thanks for.
Greg said nudes.